Judge Curtis, however, dismissed the class action by the 6 women as frivolous, saying that the very nature of their profession excluded them from the discrimination code. And now here's a special report from Hugh Adams.
Forget it, Spencer.
Why? What's the matter?
Bad news. Mrs. Whitney is still dead to the world. There's no way she's going to be awake in time for the morning news.
You sure?
I'm positive. I just looked in on her. She's out like a light.
Well, it looks as if we'll have to wait for the 6 o'clock report then.
Well, do we have to wait that long? Isn't there a newscast at 12?
Well, it's no good. Nicole Cavanaugh is never on that program.
But Mrs. Whitney doesn't know that.
Well, she might not, but we can't take the chance. It's risky enough business what we're doing here, showing her these fake news items. If she ever had any doubts...
All right. Just can't face waiting another 9 hours.
Why? What's the rush?
Well, it's just another day when something's going to go wrong.
Well, what do you expect to happen?
How should I know? 100 things. Someone could visit her. 2 minutes of conversation. She's going to know this whole thing is a fake. That there's no grand jury waiting to indict her for murder.
No one's going to come here, Nora. Everyone thinks Mrs. Whitney is out of town.
Well, it could be an out-of-towner or another visitor or maybe a phone call.
We take all the phone calls, remember?
God, you have ice water running in your veins, Spencer.
Nora, if you don't like this game, it's not my fault. You chose to play it. I didn't make the rules.
I don't know, it just seems so impossible, making her believe this whole thing is real.
The hard part is already taken care of. They've already convinced her that she shot and killed that woman, that she's waiting for a verdict from the grand jury. All we have to do is keep her happy while she waits.
Now, look, there's the doorbell. Somebody's here.
Get excited. Get excited. I'll see.
You know, it could be one of those out-of-towners, Spencer.
Now, Nora, just turn the tape machine off, rewind it. I'll go see who it is.
All right.
Hello, Spencer.
Detective Tyler?
Mind if I come in?
Perhaps you should tell me our business first, if you don't mind.
Well, I'd like to talk to you about your employer, Mrs. Whitney.
I'm sure you know Mrs. Whitney isn't home.
Yeah, well, that's what I'd like to talk to you about. Just where is Mrs. Whitney?
You've already been told, Detective, Mrs. Whitney is on a cruise.
Which cruise? What line? What ocean?
I'm afraid I can't help you there. She didn't share that information with the domestic help.
Well, didn't she tell anybody?
Excuse me.
Oh, Miss Fulton. Well, maybe you can answer some questions that Spencer doesn't seem to be able to answer.
No, I don't think so.
How do you know? You haven't even heard the questions yet. Look, you were, Mrs. Whitney's confidential secretary. You must have made the arrangements for the cruise, right?
No, Mrs. Whitney took care of that herself.
Well, isn't that kind of strange?
Not for Mrs. Whitney, it isn't. She likes taking care of that herself. You see, when she went to the Caribbean, she called the travel agent all by herself.
And of course, Detective, the plans may have been made by her escort.
Oh, I don't think so. I saw young Mr. Johnny Gentry at a restaurant last night.
Nora, didn't you tell me you were going to go upstairs and put the linen away this morning?
That's right. I'll take care of that right now. Excuse me.
Something tells me I'm not going to get a lot of help in this house, Spencer.
No one's hiding anything from you, Detective. We simply don't have the answers to your questions.
All right. Well, if you come up with any answers to my questions, maybe you could give me a call at headquarters, all right? I'd really appreciate that.
I'm still not quite sure why you want to know, sir.
Spencer, it never hurts to help a cop. It's an old Chinese proverb.
I'll remember that.
I really feel bad about keeping you two here. I mean, I know you have better things to do.
Jody, would you just forget about it, please? I don't have a patient until late this afternoon. I'm still officially on vacation, you know?
Some vacation. You two have had hardly any time to yourselves.
Well, I, for one, am not going anywhere until Mrs. Ingersoll arrives. It brings out the reporter in me.
Well, I'm not a reporter, but I'm just as curious. I am dying to know what she's bringing in that package.
There it is.
Get it? Hello, Oscar. Yes, I know. We're Yeah. All right. Oscar, just send her up, would you? Thank you.
Don't look so worried.
Oh, I know it's silly, but I'm just nervous.
Well, of course you are. It's a reminder seeing your mother's neighbor again.
You know, it's funny, but I don't even remember what Mrs. Ingersoll looks like. I wouldn't even know her if I passed her on the street.
Well, there's no problem there. The next lady that steps off that elevator.
It's like, even my mother's face, when I saw her lying in bed, isn't clear in my memory. It just seems the only face I do remember is the man coming out of her room.
For Pete's sake, the elevator comes right into the apartment.
Hello, Mrs. Ingersoll. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah. I never been in a place like this before.
Hi, Mrs. Ingersoll.
Oh, hello, honey. How are you?
I'm fine. You remember Gavin?
Yeah.
And my brother-in-law?
Sure.
Dr. Kavanaugh?
How are you?
Come on in,
Please
sit down,
come in. Sit down. Would you like a cup of coffee?
No. Well, I don't drink coffee. You wouldn't believe my stomach. Well, maybe a cold glass of water?
I'll get it.
Thank you, Gavin.
Sure. Boy, this is really some place. Did Leone ever see it?
No, she didn't. I told you I hadn't seen my mother in at least 4 years.
Actually, we have not been here that long ourselves. It's about 6 months. It's my sister's apartment.
I should have such a sister.
Here you go, Mrs. Ingersoll.
Oh, thank you, Sonny. Oh, I almost forgot. Here's your package, honey.
Thank you. I really appreciate you bringing it all this way. Ooh.
Oh, well, like I said, I had to go visit my daughter here anyway. That's my married daughter, Joanne. Oh, I have another daughter. She's still single. She works at Springfield at the mattress factory. Only she got laid off last week.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah. Well, my married daughter's not doing so hot either. I mean, she just had her 4th baby, and her husband's out of work, too. You'd think the bum would give her a hand around the house, but no, not him. Every couple of months, I have to come up here and do 2 months' worth of diapers and dishes. And... Well?
Well, what?
Ain't you gonna open it?
Yeah, of course.
Do you want me to do it?
Would you?
Oh, sure.
Let's do it over there. I've never really been good at wrapping or unwrapping.
Oh, I'm good at it. Here we go. Just wait till we do this.
Yeah.
It's a painting.
For heaven's sake.
Looks an awful lot like Jody, doesn't it?
I noticed that right away. Oh, well, the paper was kind of loose when the super brought it upstairs. Well, I had to wrap it up again so it wouldn't get scratched or anything on the train.
Well, who do you suppose it could be? I mean, do you think maybe it's my mother when she was my age?
Oh, you two sure did look alike. I knew you was Leone's little girl the minute I laid eyes on you.
Well, let me see that for a second. Sure. You know, I'm no expert, but it seems to me that this portrait's a little old to be your mother, Jody, at any age.
Well, it's an oil painting, obviously. It looks like it's cracking up here.
I'd say it's at least 50 years old, if not more.
It's a more distant relative, you know, an old family portrait. I remember my father had a portrait of his grandfather.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out, wouldn't it? But I don't know where you'd start.
I can think of a place.
Where's that?
The Endicotts Gallery. I was just there yesterday.
Wait, that's a contemporary gallery. It's modern artists.
Yes, but that doesn't mean he doesn't know anything about old paintings, especially Dwight Endicott.
It's true, he is a collector of every period, isn't he?
I think we ought to ask them.
Now what?
Oh, don't jump out of your skin every time the doorbell rings.
But she is awake now. What if it's that cop
Now,
again?
here, take this. This is her breakfast. Take it upstairs to her and keep her there until I get rid of our call on her. You're up early.
Don't be difficult, Spencer. I've got to talk to you.
Wrong time and place, Libby.
Just give me a few minutes. What I have to say is important.
Not now. Maybe later. Maybe this evening.
It's about this.
What are you going to do? Interview me? All right. Come in, but just for 5 minutes.
You remember what I told you about the visit Sky and I made to Valerie Bryson? I've been listening to this tape over and over, trying to find out why Sky failed so badly, why he couldn't answer the questions that girl asked him.
You know why. His memory is a grab bag. Sometimes he can come up with things, sometimes he can't.
Well, I think I've come up with something. Listen.
No, but I do remember our first date, of course. We had dinner. We had dinner in the hotel.
Were we alone?
Yes, of course we were.
You don't remember being interrupted by your friend, Jeff Brown, and that girl he picked up?
Yes, that's right, that's right. Jeff came with his friend, the one with the red hair, the girl with the red hair.
She wore a ski cap. We couldn't see her hair. You speculated that maybe she was bald. He remembered that. He? The man that you're calling an imposter. He remembered the entire evening, including Jeff Brown and his girlfriend and the joke about being bald.
You see, he lost credibility with the very first question.
The man had a brain injury, Libby. Most people don't even remember their names after an injury that bad.
But his name was the first thing he remembered. That's why we're all here.
So what about the first time you kissed me? It was not that night.
No, it wasn't. It was on the slopes.
It was on the ski lift. I tried to stop you and you fell off. Do you recall that?
Yes. Yes, of course I do.
So then what happened?
Well, I wasn't hurt, I know that.
Do you remember pretending to be hurt? You don't, do you?
No, I really can't.
That's enough, Libby.
Shh, listen.
You lay there in the snow, looking as if you'd broken a bone. Jeff Brown went running over to make sure you were all right. I was frantic. I came running over and you grabbed me and pulled me down in the snow and kissed me. That was the first time.
All right. You've made your point. We can't use the girl to prove his identity. We've got to find another way.
Just hear one more thing, Spencer.
What about the song?
What song?
The song that you played over and over again the night before you left. Jeff Brown said that if you played it one more time, he was going to break the jukebox.
He couldn't name the song, of course.
Why are you wasting my time with this?
He couldn't name it. But you can be sure the imposter could. You can hardly blame the Bryson girl for not believing a word that Sky says.
Libby, if I were you, I would burn that tape. It's not evidence for us. It's against us.
Spencer, we've always wondered about the identity of the imposter. If we knew exactly who he was, it would help our case.
Yes, very much.
The first person we ever suspected was this so-called friend of Sky, Jefferson Brown, the one who was supposedly killed in that plane crash in Switzerland. This tape convinces me it was him.
How?
Because every time Sky and Valerie Bryson are together, Jefferson Brown is present. All the time, he was right there with them.
You're right. She mentions him every time.
He remembered their first date because he was there.
And the first kiss, he saw what happened.
And the song. And a dozen other incidents he could have stolen the same way he stole Sky's face and fortune.
Libby, I think you have just solved a big piece of our mystery. Now the question is, who was Jefferson Brown?
Here you are, scrambled eggs, home fries, and buttered toast, just the way you like.
Oh, Sid, you take such good care of your patrons, even the ones that can't pay.
Ah, you're good for it.
How much is it now? A couple $100?
Forget it. Hey, listen, what is going on here? I haven't seen the theater gang in here. I haven't seen any members of the company around except Mitzi.
Oh, I haven't seen much of them either, Sid.
Listen, you haven't given up on that entirely, have you?
No, not entirely.
I did see Smiley. Came in the other night with some young woman, Nora somebody.
Uh-huh.
You know her?
No, not really.
Oh, well, then she's not a budding young actress, huh?
No, actually, she's a private secretary, Sid.
She looks a little private, all right. Smiley known her very long?
I don't really know.
I just thought maybe she was an old friend, you know, from his hometown. Smiley's from Michigan, isn't he? You know where exactly?
Well, Hector's from Flint, so I guess Smiley's from Flint. Why all the curiosity, Sid?
Oh, I got an old friend there myself. She lives just outside of Flint, a little suburb called Morris. She sent me a letter, told me about a clipping she saw in the Flint newspaper about a guy named... Hey, listen, I'm keeping you from your breakfast.
Oh, that's okay, Sid.
No. I got customers to take care of anyway. Morning.
Hey, Sid, how you doing?
What are you doing in here at this hour of the day? I thought you were on a vacation, no matter how unwilling you are.
Habits are hard to break.
Sid, I think I'll have coffee and a muffin, that's all.
I'll have a cup of tea, steak, and eggs easy over.
Ooh-wee. Oh, you got it.
Okay, so what happened? Did you go to Whitney House?
Well, I talked to Spencer Varney, but that guy's such an enigma, I'm never sure what he's thinking.
Yeah, well, did he say anything about Raven?
Sure, he gave me the same old story about her being on a cruise. But she didn't deign to tell the servants precisely where she went.
I see. Well, at least you know that there's no other guy with her.
Hey, knowing Raven Whitney, I'm sure that she won't be alone very long, Calvin.
This may be a little on the personal side, old buddy, but don't you think it's about time you started getting interested in some other chick?
Hey, I'm very interested in that sexy little Poppy Johnson.
Oh, no, I had in mind someone you wanted to put your arms around, not handcuff.
Calvin, I've never been so fooled by a woman, and that's in a life full of tricky women, I might add.
You know, I don't think she's really going to be able to get away with that phony testimony at the hearing. I mean, everybody there's going to know that she's all hooked up with Eddie Larimer.
She's the only witness I've got. If she was clever enough to fool me, she's going to fool that review board.
I think you'll just have to wait till the hearing to find that out.
I don't have time to wait. I am going to find out exactly what Poppy Johnson is all about.
Mrs. Cavanaugh, how nice to see you.
Mr. Endicott, I didn't expect to see you here.
I have a new exhibit in preparation. My father's here trying to make sure I don't hang the pictures crooked. He's a wicked eye.
I'd like for you both to meet my husband, Miles.
It's Dr. Cavanaugh, isn't it?
That's right. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm Grace Endicott, Doctor.
Pleasure. You've got quite an attractive place here.
Thank you.
Have you decided to make a contribution to our exhibit?
No, not exactly. I don't think this would exactly fit in here.
I hope you don't mind that I've taken advantage of our brief acquaintance, but I couldn't help thinking of you two when this came into our lives this morning.
This is obviously a painting. I don't know whether it's valuable at all, but it has certain curiosity value.
Well, let's see it.
My father's heart beats faster when he's about to look at a painting.
Well, I don't know if this is going to be much of a thrill. It belonged to my sister's mother. We're half-sisters, as I told you.
Yes, her mother died recently.
Yes.
Grace? Interesting. Quite well done. Possibly European rather than American, or at least influenced by the Romantic style.
Oh, how old would you say that?
Oh, it's definitely 19th century, I can say that much.
Well, you were right. Miles said that it couldn't possibly be Jody's mother.
Or her grandmother, for that matter, but there's a strong family resemblance.
Is there? Well, now I'm more curious than ever about your sister. The party tonight, won't she?
Oh, yes, we'll all be there.
She's a little nervous about what she's wearing. She doesn't get to too many formal parties.
Oh, I'm sure she'll look lovely.
I must be honest about this. I'm not really expert enough to identify the source of the painting, but I do know people who can probably pinpoint the date to within 2 or 3 years.
Now, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't you leave the painting here for a day or two and,
Well, I'm not sure that we can do that.
Yeah, it is Jody's painting, after all.
How did you say she came by it?
Well, a neighbor of her mother's dropped it off at our house this morning. Apparently, the superintendent of the building had found it in the basement in the storage area.
Oh, well, then you're not absolutely sure that it's her property, are you?
Oh, yes. No, that her name was written right on the package, and, well, it's obvious by looking at it that belongs to Jody's family.
Well, I can tell you from experience, it's not quite that simple to establish the provenance of a painting.
Well, I don't think there's any question about the provenance of this painting. It does belong to Jody, and she's the one who's going to have to decide whether or not it's left anywhere.
Of course.
Here you are, Doctor.
Thank you.
Listen, I have an idea. Why don't the two of you talk to Jody herself tonight at the party?
Well, that's an excellent idea. We'll do that, Grace.
Of course.
Listen, thank you for your time. We look forward to this evening.
And so do we,
Nice to
Doctor,
meet
very
you.
much. Thank you for coming by.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Until later. How could this happen? How did that woman get the portrait?
I don't know. I didn't even know the painting existed.
We should have known. And we're going to find out how it got to that girl. Joseph!